The price of Bitcoin is $23,418, and today I've got a bit of a corker of a video because look at my current open trades. As I showed you in yesterday's video, I went long on Ethereum at these levels right here using some irresponsible leverage. I've only got $12,000 of my own money invested into this trade, already churned out about $37,000 worth of profit between these two bits. Now, this is a 421 Ethereum trade from $1,571. Currently, the price is $1,642, and I'm here to tell you, I think this week's going to be pretty decent. So if you wouldn't mind, drop a like on today's video. Would sincerely appreciate that. Trying to get 1,000 likes on every single video, so please do drop a like on. At the same time, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We bang here on the channel in terms of pretty accurate. I'm very impressed at myself. A lot of the things that I learned during the course of the bear market have gone on to serve me so well. Again, you've got a lot of past experiences that I had. You've got to bear in mind I've been doing this now for 10 years, but we are on a streak at the moment. It's a really good streak. So subscribe, like the video, and let's crack on with the first thing today that I want to discuss being something that's not Bitcoin. It's XTP. XTP, the current price, is sat down here between 46 and 45 Satoshis. But I want to show you something that I think that not a lot of people are looking at, which is the order trades that are going through right now. If you actually look at these, look at how many more buys there are than sells. If we just scroll through here, pretty much everything is a buy. You've got a few big sells in between all of those buys, but really, to be honest, all morning is buying pressure on XTP, which makes me think these walls, they're going to fall. And as the price gets higher, the liquidity gets lower, and it doesn't cost all that much to increase the price again. So I think that this week could be the week that we see a turnaround in the price of XTP, going back up to 55 to 60 Satoshis solidly by the end of this week. And I would like to see that happen, of course, because again, I hold a lot of it, but I'll be buying this week, kind of help it on its way. So hopefully that's the case, and hopefully that's what happens. It's clear to me the selling demand on XTP has cleared up. There isn't a whole lot of demand to sell at these levels. You can see that volume has dropped away because people don't want to sell. But at the same time, is there that confidence to buy? Well, I think there's going to be some confidence stimulants in the near-term future. So keep an eye on all of those things. Now, the next thing, of course, will be my Ethereum trade. Currently sitting at $1,645.90. We are now sitting at $31,500 in profit. My Bitcoin trade as well, that I opened here at $23,237. Not the best entry in the world. Could have got a better entry on that, but it is what it is. We're stuck where we're stuck. I had a much better entry than that, but I was pooping myself thinking, I just don't want the risk on the table right now. I had it on the BTC USDT pair. I had a much larger trade, but I closed it because I didn't want to get wicked out of any of my altcoin trades, and the margins on those were getting pretty slim at the time. So it was just more of a risk management case as to why I don't have more Bitcoin long positions open right now. So at the same time, what is going on with the current price of Bitcoin? Well, $23,442 is, of course, the current price. And this looks decent. And the key reason why this looks decent right now is because look at this chart. This is the DXY chart. And to me, this looks bearish. And let me explain you why this looks bearish. If we go over to the daily chart on the DXY and zoom in on what we're currently doing, we're hitting a key level of resistance. Now, I expect to get rejected at this level of resistance and drop down for at least 2 to 3 days. Now, if we have 3 days of downwards, that means Bitcoin gets 3 days of upwards, and that would likely take Bitcoin's price back up to around $25,000, or $24,000, $25,000, something between these two levels here. And essentially, we also have a control line that's formed here on Bitcoin at the level of $23,900. And I'd expect that at this point in time, Bitcoin's price is going to come up and test that control line. Another thing to point out about the price of Bitcoin right now would be, is there a CME gap? Well, that's an interesting question. The answer is no. There isn't actually a CME gap. Despite the price of Bitcoin opening and closing at a different point, there technically isn't a CME gap, because let me show you why. This is a CME gap right here at $19,800 all the way up to $20,500. That is a CME gap. Then we have another CME gap on the chart here. This is a CME gap. This is a CME gap. So we've got these two higher ones and the one lower one down here. But we don't actually have a CME gap, having even technically formed a CME gap during the course of this weekend. Now, let me explain why. If we actually drop down now onto the hourly chart, you'll see that we've actually formed a gap in the chart here. But we've technically filled that gap at the same time. So the gap is between this level right here and the level of which we're currently set at. So essentially, $23,200 would technically be the level of which we'd formed the CME gap at. But for whatever reason, we've not formed a gap. I don't know why the chart's not showing a gap. It's just not showing a gap, which is really interesting. I guess maybe we opened at a much lower level on the CME exchange for whatever reason, and that meant that the gap didn't actually open. Either way, we don't actually have a gap on the CME exchange chart right now, which is weird because technically we should do. Either way, there's no CME gap technically, so we shouldn't really be expecting a move to the downside. However, it could still happen. Again, we are sat on this level of support right here. So let me show you what's happening. If we look at this extended level of support, if we're to break to the downside of this level, we can expect a significant move back to the downside to around $23,000. And at that point in time, I'm getting a little bit hairy about my current situation. I go, all right, it's time to close some of these trades, to be honest. However, I'm expecting a move to the upside, and I'm expecting the move to the upside at the start of this week. And for that reason, that's why I'm positioned long right now. It's why I intend on increasing the size of my long positions. It's why I'm buying the dip on altcoins. It's why I'm buying the dip on XDP. It's why I'm buying the dip on DAFI. Tomorrow, or Wednesday, not sure which day yet, probably more likely going to be Wednesday, is the day where I drop my next 100X altcoin research. You do not want to miss that video. The coin is already doing pretty well, to be honest, but at the same time, that video it's going to be a really interesting research. So it kind of hopefully should give you some confidence about the way that I'm assessing these things. We've had a lot of success with them in the past, but I can't wait for that altcoin research video to come out now. Bitcoin is currently pumping up to $23,500. Now, on the price of Bitcoin, we need to break through $23,640 to confirm a breakout up to this level of resistance up here, which would be the control line at $23,900. A break up here, again, we need to go back to some of these previous resistance levels. Now, this would be a key one for me. And that's why I say, look, a break of $23,640, so $23,600 would break this longer term resistance level, causing us to break to the upside where this control line is. So that's kind of what I'm expecting on the price of Bitcoin. It's just important to keep an eye on those downside levels as well. Understand that there is potential downside targets on the price of Bitcoin. But why am I more so positioned in the Ethereum market right now? Well, this is the value of Ethereum versus the US dollar right now. But I want to show you the value of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, because I've been talking about it a fair bit recently. Now, for me, this is pretty much a textbook reversal pattern. It wouldn't surprise me actually to see us go back down to here, to be honest, if we were to form that inverse head and shoulders, but I don't think we're going to do that. That'd be a drop back down to $1,597. So I'd just be keeping a close eye on these levels of support here, and those levels of support, if we were to lose them, we'd likely drop back to the downside, and that'd be around $1,630 if we lose that level. However, it's Ethereum versus Bitcoin that particularly interests me right now, because this textbook bull flag. At the same time, I want to show you this chart right here, which is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin on the hourly chart. Look at this very key resistance level. Shall we zoom out? Let's zoom out. Look, if this thing starts breaking this resistance level here and breaking back into this next range, we can expect on Ethereum's price a price valuation rise of at least 4%. More likely we go back up to where we were previously around here if we confirm that breakout, and that'll be around an 8% rise in price. At the same time, if Bitcoin's going to trade bullishly during the course of that week, you could be talking about 15, 16, 17% increase in the price of Ethereum versus the US dollar this week. And if that's the case, and I'm long on it, and I'm $700,000 long on it, and I make 15% of $700,000, I make a net profit on top of what I've already got of 100K. So that means I'm profiting around $130,000 on that trade. I like the sound of that. That sounds great. So hopefully that happens, but we shall see. That is my ultimate speculation on what I'm expecting on the price of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Of course, the DXY I expect is going to get rejected here. This is what a lot of my theory is kind of dependent on. Of course, Bitcoin is looking very good right now. It looks like it should continue rallying to the upside. And the one other thing would be, we saw buy the dip moment on DAFI earlier today, but DAFI's price seems to have settled nicely here below 2 cents. I believe that below 2 cents on DAFI is a great buying opportunity. There is a big video coming out very soon from my side about DAFI, and maybe that'll stimulate a little bit of interest in it. You never know. But at the same time, I think that DAFI is in a good place right now in terms of for buyers, not for sellers. Sellers, it's a bit terrible, to be honest, but it is what it is. It depends on where you bought, I guess. But that's why you should put channel notifications on, because if you watch the videos, you see them before anybody else, and that's what's important. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like on it. Be careful out there. Make the correct decisions. Make the best trades possible. Make sure you're making stupid money like this right here. I mean, it's just insane. The way that the market's changed over the past couple of months is just insane. But anyway, have a great day. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully everything pumps. It looks like it might do. And see you in the next video. Goodbye.